Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. Today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite subject, the carriers. So as you can tell by the title of this video, the question today is, are CVs that OP? And by that OP, I mean, are they as like game crushing and game breaking and oh my god, this is going to kill the game as a lot of people are saying that they are? And my answer to that is no. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. Do they need work? Yes. Are some carriers OP right now? Yes. Does the CV rework still need to be tweaked? Yes. But it really is a far cry from how some people are making it out to be. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who gets abused by carriers most of the time. I play Gross First a lot. I don't like sitting back. You guys know I'm really aggressive. Probably too, well, yeah, I am too aggressive a lot of times. And I get targeted by the carriers, rightly so. I more often than not go off with just one or two other ships, and that's prime target for a carrier because that's just how carriers have to play now. Especially at higher tier where the meta is, it's all huddled together and deathball in one direction or the other direction. Heck, let's just sit here in the corner and deathball right here in this, up by A10. Yeah, it's just the way that higher tier gameplay is right now between things like and again, it's not just the carrier's fault. It's the carriers and just the sheer amount of radar that we have at tier 10 now, and the nature of a lot of tier 10 ships that are being released. A lot of them are these rapid firing HE spammy ships, and the best way to not be singled out by those ships is to go with a group. So, is that bad that you're going places in groups? No, it's not. But it is bad when you have 2/3 of the team just deathballing in one area of the map. That is pretty bad. So anyway, back to the carriers. I do honestly believe this too. I'm not just saying it just to win over carrier players. I really think that they aren't as bad as they're being made out to be. And I don't play carriers that much. I really don't. I play Graf Zeppelin and Enterprise. And I don't even play them that much. I play Graf Zeppelin way more than I play Enterprise. And I only got Enterprise because it's Enterprise, the legendary aircraft carrier from World War II, and I'm American, and it's got a pretty big spot in our history, so that's why I got it. Got Graf Zeppelin, honestly, just for the frickin' secondaries, because its secondaries are frickin' insane, and I love them. And that's why I play Graf Zeppelin more than Enterprise, and even though Enterprise is the more broken ship and the more OP ship, and Enterprise isn't one of the ones that does need to get worked on by the devs. I play Graf Zeppelin. It's my guilty pleasure. Am I that good in it? No, but it's interesting to me to play it every now and then. And would I be playing Graf Zeppelin if the CV rework didn't happen? Probably not. I may have bought it, but I probably wouldn't play it near as much as I play it now, because the CV rework did do what Wargaming wanted it to do and open up carriers to a lot more people and a lot more players. Because honestly, before the RTS, sure, those carrier players that were good at carriers were good at carriers. They were like God almost. But now more people can play it. However, that has created this side effect of it's a whole lot easier to get guaranteed damage in carriers now than it used to be. And by that I mean, one, you're directly controlling the planes, but you could kind of do that before with manual drops, but not to this degree. Two, it's unlimited planes, and the planes don't attack all in one squadron anymore. You have several squadrons that make up a flight. So, before, pre-CV rework that is, you could, let's say you've got a dive bomber, a torpedo bomber squadron coming at you. And let's just say there's 5 planes in this squadron. I don't know if that's any real number from back in the day, but I'm just saying there were 5 planes in this torpedo squadron. If your AA manages to shoot down 1 plane, you've taken your torpedo out of that attack run. And if you maneuver into the torpedo bombers, let's say now you've maneuvered and you are only going to take 2 torpedoes. So you effectively, between your AA shooting down that 1 torpedo bomber and you maneuvering, you have effectively successfully dodged 3 torpedoes. because you shot one down, you dodged the other two, but you still ate two. Carrier player still got his damage in, and you managed to escape a full broadside of torpedoes. The issue is nowadays, unless you have like absolute god tier AA, which only a handful of ships have, there's not a lot you can do to mitigate the amount of damage you're going to take from carrier planes. Because now, unless you literally shoot down the entire flight of planes, and I'm talking, just for the sake of this argument, same tier to same tier. So a tier 10 carrier versus a tier 10 ship, not a tier 8 ship versus a tier 7 ship, or a tier 8 ship versus a tier 10 ship. I'm just talking same tier. You have to have AA that's powerful enough to literally shoot down every single plane in the sky in order to do anything about the attack. Because, honestly, planes are maybe in your AA bubble for, what, 10 seconds, 11 tops, if that, depending upon the carrier and how big of a run-up the carrier player went and the speed and all that, just roughly. And that's not a lot of time for your AA to do work. Especially when they, literally have to shoot down the entire squadron before they can even start to take the amount of torpedoes or bombs off of the attack. So, that's honestly my biggest issue with carriers. Just that right there, that you cannot do anything about the amount of torpedoes, bombs, or rockets being thrown at you until you've chewed through the entire squadron. And of course, at the beginning of the game, that's pretty impossible unless you're really grouped up. And by grouped up, I mean like 4 or more ships. And I know a lot of people would just say, well, just sail together. Yeah, sailing together. Just say for argument's sake, you have a division on, and that's 3 ships. And, let's be honest, unless you're going to really try hard, you're not going to be sailing, a destroyer or cruiser and a battleship. You're probably be playing whatever your favorite ship is with your buddies, unless you're going try hard, which some people do, and fair enough to you for doing that, because that probably is what you should be doing. But again, this is a game, and we're talking about random battles, not ranked right now or anything like that. So, unless you're running like a proper division, heck, that probably won't be enough even. You're still not going to be able to nerf that. You're not going to be able to take the edge off of that attack. Unless, again, you've got like 3 AA ships. And at that point, the carrier's going to leave you alone and go pick on somebody else. So, you see what I'm saying? It's just that it's not fun to be that one guy that gets picked on by the carrier. Because there's nothing you can do about the planes coming at you. Sure, you can try to maneuver, but again, with CV players being able to change the direction and attitude of attack up until pretty much the last second now, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do. And yeah, in cruisers and destroyers, that's going to have a much bigger effect on you dodging shots, but in a battleship, it's really not going to have that much of an effect. And some carriers can really just frickin' chew into battleships all day and be really, really good at it. Again, come from the perspective of a battleship player. But again, with destroyers too, I really feel for destroyers right now just because there's so much radar at tier 10, and then you got the carriers on top of that keeping them spotted. It's really rough to be a destroyer nowadays, and you really do not see as many destroyers in game as you used to. There used to be like freaking 4 or 3 destroyers per team back in the day, but now you're lucky if you get 2 or 3. If that. When I was trying to record, whatever mediocre graph up and footage you're watching right now, I didn't have a game with more than, I think, 2 destroyers per team. And I can't really blame them for that, because it's not fun being a destroyer or a battleship in a carrier game when the carrier decides you're the one that's going to die, and it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's really a matter of when it's going to happen if that carrier is dedicated to get you. And it's funny too, because this happened when I was playing Graf Zeppelin. The Lexington, for whatever reason, decided he wanted me dead. And sure enough, in the Graf Zeppelin with good AA and dropping fighter planes to try and defend my Zeppelin, and keep in mind, I was dropping fighter planes on top of the fighter planes that the Graf Zeppelin already automatically launches when it gets detected. The Lexington just took the losses and freaking got to me, and I was dead. Granted, I did distract him for a good amount of the game with that, so that probably was beneficial to my team, but it was annoying as hell. And that's the main issue I have right now. They're not OP. They're They're just really annoying to fight against and really annoying to deal with. You know, but again, I will say that there are some carriers which do need some tweaks. Enterprise is definitely one of them. I'm pretty sure, yeah, she did get removed from the shop because of that, and, well, honestly, I don't know if they're going to change it, but they really need to, because there's still a fair amount of Enterprises out there, and even people like me who aren't good in CVs can do quite well in Enterprise. But that's my little spiel on carriers. I don't want to get too into it, because again, this really could be like a 20 or 30 minute video, but unless you guys want to hear that, let me know in the comments down below if you would like to hear me talking about carriers for 30 minutes. Just to be absolutely clear right now, so no one gets confused, I don't think they're OP. I think they're really annoying to deal with. I think they still need work, but overall, as a class, as a whole, they're not OP, just annoying. And this comes from someone who gets the shit beat out of them by a carrier anytime there's one in game. So, have fun in the comment section. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.